Hey all you zealots and zerglings, it's time for Game 1 between Wolfpack, the yellow Protoss, and Spartan, the red Terran. And I know what you're thinking, Game 1 again? I thought you promised us we're going to see some Game 2s. Well, don't worry, keep your pants on, because Wolfpack and I before this did actually finish our series, so that will be coming up, but since this is being cast live and that one wasn't, I don't yet have that uploaded. Of course, I probably will have it uploaded by the time you see this, so you've actually probably already seen the results of me versus Wolfpack, but I'm not going to spoil it here because I don't know if I'll get this uploaded beforehand, so you'll just have to wait and see, or not. Oh, it looks like Spartan's got an idle SCV. Oh, no, he's going to get him to work. Probably going to be putting a supply depot to his front door. And it looks like Wolfpack's got a pylon in a peculiar spot. Let me explain this. Usually, if you're going to do a wall off as Protoss, the best point is to move your pylon far enough back so that this energy field is just barely touching the front of the ramp. That'll allow you enough power to put your buildings right here in front of the ramp where you want them, but have your pylon safely back. Or at the very least, step it forward one notch so it blocks here. Unless he's going to put a gateway here and then a zealot right here, but that's, well, obviously that's not a tight wall because the probe just went through right there, so not going to be a tight wall in here again, just another scattering of buildings. And usually you don't see a Protoss putting a zealot here to block their front door in versus Terran than you would versus Zerg, because they don't need to prevent Zerglings from getting in their base, and the Terran can just stand back and kill the zealot from range. So that strategy doesn't work against Terran whatsoever. And once again, we are on xel'naga Caverns, which is where all Game 1s during the round-robin stages are going, or are played. And it looks like we're going to have the scout here for Wolfpack. The barracks is almost done, so Wolfpack should probably be pretty quick with this, or he probably will lose that probe. And he's just going to tag the command center and sit there. And Spartan is going to send an SCV after it, so the probe is going to have to get into motion. But no, it looks like he's just going to kind of let that thing get trapped in a corner and die. So I'm not sure I agree with that. And it looks like the cybernetics core is going down for Wolfpack, and that probe is probably, yeah, that probe is not dead. He should not have let the SCV kill that. You got to keep that thing in motion. Queue up some rally points for it. Move it around the map, move it around the base so he just doesn't die like that. Now we are getting marine production here from Spartan, which, oh, now he's dropping down a tech lab, so it looks like he's going to go for a little more of a tech path. Usually, I either expected him to throw down one or two more barracks and start pumping out marines, or maybe get a reactor to start pumping out marines, but it looks like he's going to go for something a little more tech-oriented. Maybe going to get some Marauders out because they do perform quite well against Protoss, but it looks like it's going to be a later push from him, which is unusual. He's getting a little more passive as this tournament goes on. Instead of his hyper-aggression, get a quick army, but no, here comes a second barrack, so it's still going to be a 2 racks. I don't know if it's going to be an offensive one, as in he's going to try to, get a good army together as quickly as he can and push, or if it's just to kind of slowly build up an army later for later use. And Wolfpack is going to chrono boost out his zealot. He's going to rally him here, which, like I said, this isn't going to do any good to pop a zealot right here, because nothing's going to run into his base, unless it's a Hellion push, but I don't think a zealot's going to survive Hellions much better than they would Marines or Marauders. And let's see what it looks like. He's getting ready to go down tech path, going to throw down a second gateway. And it looks like we got Marauders slow coming from Spartan, which is going to be really hard for Protoss to deal with. And getting his orbital command up. But Wolfpack does have a slight food advantage. We check the income. He also has a slight worker advantage. But now that the orbital command's done, Spartan can start dropping mules and try to catch up, at least in the mineral harvesting. Actually, he'll probably be ahead in the mineral harvesting, just because mules gather so much. But he's got to get that mule down too. And it looks like Wolfpack is taking this watchtower with his probe, kind of keeping an eye what's coming to his base. And just pumping out. Now he's getting out a sentry. Very good. That can hold off a push. Trying to chrono boost out his warp gates. And it looks like we've got 2 gates and a forge on the way. I think it's a bit early to get the forge. But he's going to be on 3 gates. Is he going to get a 4th gate? Is he going to expand off of this? I'd almost like to see him expand on this. But then again, Spartan is very aggressive. He's sending out 1 marine probably to the watchtower. He's building up a force, although this barracks is not currently producing anything. He's got plenty of resources for it. He does finally get his mule production going. Trying to... Oh, he's supply blocked. That's why he's not making anything. So that is unfortunate. Yeah, now he's trying to make a marauder there, but he can't make a marauder there. And, oh, what's coming up here? Getting a tech lab on his factory, so we're going to see siege tanks most likely. And we are getting a Robo Bay out here for Wolfpack, which 3-gate Robo off of one base is way too much. Maybe he's just getting this out to get an Observer, which you don't usually see at the pro level. They don't usually get the Robo unless they're actually going to do a Robo build. So just getting this for the Observer, kind of a waste of money, but I think he can pull it off. And it looks like his gateway technology is finished. He is getting the +1 attack, and we're getting a starport now here for Spartan. So it looks like we're going for a little bit of a macro game here. Now I know Wolfpack's generally one to kind of macro, usually sit back, build up his forces, and then just push out with everything he's got. And maybe Spartan knows this and is going to take advantage of it to give himself a little more of a chance to tech up. Although he really could have taken advantage of it if he just skipped this barracks altogether, which it doesn't even look like he's making full use of his barracks. He could have had this exact same army off one barracks if he got his production spot on. And then he could have had his factory and his starport a lot sooner, I think. And the tanks are coming out. He's not researching siege mode yet, which he might want to get on that, which that costs 100 and 100. Oh, and just as I put my mouse over it, looks like he's ready for that, and it looks like Wolfpack is now finally going to expand, which he definitely needs to do. Kind of setting his units out here. That's kind of interesting for the sentry to sit out here and kind of spot, because that thing will get sniped so easily. And we check the army size, and yeah, 3 zealots and a sentry versus 5 marines, 5 marauders, and a tank. So Wolfpack probably needs to kick his unit production to high gear now. He's got to have a lot of cooldowns ready for his... Well, not anymore. Now he just got a round of warpins done there. And now that this is going down, he really needs to throw down more gateways, I think, so that he can start really ramping up the unit production, because he's going to need an army, especially if Spartan pushes out in the next couple of minutes. Wolfpack will not be ready for it, if you ask me. But no, it looks like Spartan's going to be expanding as well, so we're actually going to see expansions from both players before there is any aggression. But the Observer for Wolfpack is about to come in here and scout everything that's going on. And he's going to see the expansion. If he moves over there, he might want to check the expansion timing on that to see what's coming. But that's a pretty big army. That's going to make him think probably of something more aggressive. Now he is going to see the expansion. That will be completed. Kind of dangerous to build it out here, but Wolfpack obviously currently doesn't have the army he could use to take it out. And getting a Raven, so Wolfpack's got to be careful because this Raven will allow him to spot this Observer. And this isn't really necessary because there is this patrol function which will do exactly this, only you won't run out of points. So he could use that patrol function, but he's got to be careful because there's a Raven coming out, and the second it does, that Observer is going to be sniped, although this is a huge investment. 200 gas right now, that's pretty huge considering he's not really expecting Dark Templar, and that's a lot for Dark. I mean, usually Terrans will just scan for this if they spot it, so that's kind of a big investment for sniping off one Observer, which obviously you can snipe more later. But they are only 75 gas, so 200 gas versus 75 gas. He's going to have to snipe 2 or 3 Observers to make it worth it. Oh, he is getting more gateways out. Excellent there. Probably could have got him out a little bit sooner, and now he needs to get his natural saturated. If we check the income tab, he's way ahead on harvesters. That's huge, but now he's probably got to focus a little bit more on his army, getting a couple of photon cans. I don't know if he really needs those, but just kind of an insurance policy. And sending a probe back, maybe he went here to scout the watchtower, although he's not damaged, is he? He seems fine. He's fine. And we check the army sizes right now, and, oh, well, I guess we can see them right here. They're 68 to 60, so Wolfpack still has a bit of a lead. Now getting a Twilight Council just finished. Now is he going to go for Blink, or is he going to go for Charge? If he scouts the siege tanks, which I'm sure he saw... Oh, yeah. He can see the siege tanks, so he definitely... Charge, I think, would be a good use of that right now. Where did that Raven go? He's using the Raven to scout. He's got to be careful. As that Raven comes over here to the front, that Observer is toast. So I'm not sure what he's doing with this Raven right now. Just kind of poked out here. Maybe he's checking for some pylons, and then it's going to sit here by the Stargate, or Starport. And I don't see him using that Twilight Council yet. He's not getting Blink. He's not getting Charge. He's not getting any tech structures off of that. I really would like to see him get charged because he knows he's got siege tanks to deal with, and that is what he's going to need. Siege tanks or immortals, although I don't know if I'd like him getting too many immortals. The Marines really will chew that up, and Terrans get a lot of Marines. He really could do better with maybe Colossus tech. And there's the charge. That's what I wanted to see him to get out there, and I'm not sure what tech path he's going here. He's sticking with Robo. I'd like to see him get Colossus, though. I think that'll do better against the Terran, and he's got to be careful with his Observer. This Raven comes over, and he's got it selected. This Raven comes over, its Observer is gone. But he's seeing the whole army. He can see when it moves out, and it's moving right now, and he's got it on follow. The Raven's not coming with it. Why did he make that Raven? And now he's researching Seeker Missile? This is very unusual right now, but if he wants to use Seeker Missile, he's probably going to need to get a lot more Ravens, because I don't know, one Raven with Seeker Missile, I don't know, I don't think he'd get the best bang for his buck, but maybe he will. But he's got to be careful, because I do believe that Seeker Missile can hit your own units, I believe. I don't see Seeker Missile enough, so I can't even remember. We get some information on that. Seeker Missile... it just says area damage. It doesn't say whether or not there's friendly fire with it. But it could be huge. Oh, now he's going to break down the rocks. I think it was the first time I've seen someone break down these rocks to get to their third instead of just taking the long way to the expansion. So it looks like he's going to get ready to expand a bit more. But he is still behind in the food supply. He's way behind in the workers. Oh, and it looks like... they must have been listening to my cast, because now both players are knocking down their rocks to get to their third base, and it looks like they're going to be expanding at about the same time if they get units down there to start building their command structures, but nobody has started anything yet, and Seeker Missile is done, and durable materials. I hope he's getting a lot of upgrades for his Ravens, and he's only got one. And now getting an engineering bay. Start getting those upgrades. Got a ton of minerals, not a lot of gas. How's his gas? Oh, he's only got one SCV there. It's one SCV there. He's really hurting his gas production right now. Two there. Oh man, he is way under gassed, and that is not good. And it looks like now Wolfpack is taking down these rocks. Very good preemptive measure, and now he's taking his third. So he's taking his third slightly ahead of Spartan. So if he gets that saturated up, and he's doing pretty good on his pro production, he's going to have a huge economic lead. But this still could come down to the army positioning. Oh, is he going to double expand? This is really bold. And now he does still have the observer here over this army. He doesn't see the whole army, because now the army is kind of split up, but he at least knows that expansion is likely. He probably could send the observer over there just to confirm that. Maybe swing back here and check the army. And here's the Raven again, which now is at the front door. I just don't know. He's getting a lot of Raven upgrades, and he's only got one Raven. So once that Raven runs out of energy, all those upgrades are probably going to suddenly prove to be a huge waste of money, unless he starts getting more Ravens. But it's going to be a little late. If he lets Wolfpack get both these bases up and saturated, he's going to be in big trouble. And I also want to see, are we getting more production facilities? We need more production facilities from Wolfpack. He's getting double expanding. He needs to throw down a ton more gateways. If he could even throw down another Robo Bay or two right now if he's going to keep going Immortals. And I would recommend that he do that. He definitely needs more production. He's got to keep up with what he's got here. Spartan has got almost no production facilities. He's almost going to be on 3 bases, and he's got the production facilities of 1 base. And that is going to put him way behind unless he can absolutely destroy Wolfpack's army and then roll over his base. That is the only way this lack of production facilities are going to help him. And now he's going to get Infernal Pre-Igniter? You have 0 Hellions. Why would you get Infernal Pre-Igniter off of 0 Hellions? And still producing tanks. So this does not make any sense to me at all, what his build's going. Looks like we got Wolfpack is moving out. And he's got his observer over the third. Is he going to try to take this out? And just computing up SCVs here, which he really needs to turn this into an orbital command, or at least a planetary fortress. But it's going to be too late now, because this base is probably not going to survive. They're going to probably destroy this base before Spartan's army can respond. There is a small force right here, but he needs to get his whole army there, and he's going to try to lift that up, but I think it's going to be too late. That command center's got 0 chance of survival, and that is unfortunate. You got to be careful. He doesn't have his observer here anymore. He doesn't know what's coming, so it's very risky for him to just go bullying up this ramp without looking what's going on first. Although he is getting most of his zealots up front, which would be good, and the siege tanks are shooting at the zealots, which is exactly what Wolfpack wants, and his army is getting absolutely destroyed, and now the siege tanks are gone, and with these Immortals and Stalkers here, I think this army is going to be completely destroyed. Although I'd like him to see him get a pylon up here so he could reinforce this, but He absolutely destroyed this army, and now there's nothing up here but some siege tanks, and I don't know where that observer went, because he needs to make sure he scouts. And oh, even this is not an orbital command, so I don't think Spartan was just completely ready for this attack. Oh, now he's going to send his observer to scout ahead and see what he has left to deal with, and he's sending reinforcements all the way from the other end of the map. He really needs to get a pylon up there. And you got to be careful, you got siege tanks taking a lot of damage. But now he's got him on there. One siege tank goes down, 2 siege tanks go down, and that's going to be it. Lifting up the supply depot, but it's irrelevant now. Like I said, he can't macro up any more units. And there's the GG from Spartan. So Wolfpack is going to take game 1. So we will get to game 2 and have a day.